This boy's name is Juanito. He's a gypsy. He lives in a cave, in a mountain, above the city of Granada in Spain. He likes to dance. His friends are also gypsies. We'll join Juanito and his friends and take a look into those caves in just a moment. My name's Richard Erdman. I'm a writer. I write books about children, for children. I travel all over the world, and wherever I go, I try to make friends with the children.
Hello? Hello? I'm Sir Percival.
That's Sir Percival. He likes children, too. And he's always furious when I don't take him with me on my trips. Hello, Perce. Hello.
Hello?
Hungry? There. Last summer, I went to Spain, where I met some gypsy children. I wrote this book about them, and I want you to meet them. But first, a couple of things about gypsies. 1,000 years ago, they left Pakistan and started to roam all over the earth. When they came to Egypt, now called the United Arab Republic, they took the name gypsies. Egyptian? Gypsies. Then they separated, and some of them moved up and across Europe, and the others moved across Africa. Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, and eventually a group of gypsies arrived in Granada, in Spain. There had been a long war in Spain between the Spanish people and the Moors. The Moorish king had built a magnificent castle on a mountain above Granada. That castle is called the Alhambra, and it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. Across the valley from the Alhambra, the other Moors dug caves on another mountain above Granada. They lived in them. When the Spanish people drove the Moors from Spain, the gypsies moved into those caves. That was in 1492, same year that Columbus discovered America. The gypsies have stayed there ever since. Unlike other gypsies, they don't move about. They love their caves on their mountain, and that mountain is called Sacromonte. Juanito and his friends had been playing on top of Sacromonte, and they were late for school. Everyone on Sacromonte lives in a cave. Everyone. The mountain is steep, and the children are strong from the exercise of running and climbing. And playing leapfrog. The traffic along the paths is busy in the early morning. Luckily for Juanito and his friends, there was no speed limit. I saw them coming toward me, so I thought I'd join in the fun. Juanito asked who I was. I told him I was a gypsy, gitano in Spanish. No? He didn't believe me. His friends didn't either. While the boys were going to school, I explored the mountain. A mother was trying to comfort her 2 young children who were unhappy because their older brother had gone to school. I tried to cheer them up. During the hot summer, many of the classes are held out of doors in Spain. The gypsies attended this school at the base of Sacromonte. The huge figure in tiles in front of the school made study a little easier. Hand, mano, heart, corazón. Gypsies all over the world speak a language called Romani. Here, in school, the children were learning Spanish also. Knee, rodilla, thigh, muslo, foot, pie, stomach, estómago. Francisco was very smart, and he knew it. Juanito had not done well in school that morning, and he knew it. His father, a coppersmith, was busy making small bowls. Juanito's grandmother sent him to market to buy bread. While she prepared lunch. For hundreds of years, the gypsies have made beautiful things from copper. Juanito's father cleaned and polished these bowls with sand and sawdust and worked 6 and 7 hours at a stretch, pounding and decorating them. The market on Sacromonte is also in a cave. There was bread and sausage and also candy. Ask first, Juanito was told. On his way home, Juanito stopped off to watch the blacksmith at work. It was an interesting sight, with the fire and the hot metal. And Juanito and his friends watched for a long time. Perhaps a little too long. There are 3,000 gypsies on Sacromonte, and their caves are cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Most of the caves have a small room in front and a retaining wall, and then 2 or 3 rooms inside the mountain. The gypsies are allowed to live in their caves with no rent and no taxes and no plumbing. All of the water must be brought up by burros. Lunch is a simple meal of bread and stew, and sometimes fruit. The stew is made of herbs and peppers and whatever else is available. If there are goats, it's a goat stew. If there are chickens nearby, it's a chicken stew. Juanito's table manners needed improvement. After lunch, Juanito's grandmother sang an old lullaby that was understood by 3 generations. Juanito's new brother, his grandmother, his sister, and his mother. Also another mother and child. At the base of the mountain, where he sells wine, Juanito's grandfather had a visitor, Juanito's teacher. It was an old story, familiar but sad. The gypsy children go to school for a short time, learn to count, and then lose interest. They don't study, they fall behind the other children, and then they quit. It was particularly sad to Juanito's uncle. He and his young wife, Juanita, had been flamenco dancers, had traveled far from Sacramonte, and were back again. Their lack of education had made life away from the mountain hard for them. And now, more than anything, they want to help others like themselves. In their spare time, they still dance. After lunch, the boys started down the mountain. They came to a barber shop for burros. And boys. The song is about a burro getting his hair cut. There's something exciting about a balloon getting bigger, bigger, and bigger, bigger. Suddenly, everyone wanted a balloon. Everyone. The problem is how to drink and not get a shower at the same time. At the base of the mountain is a road and a cart, so why walk? In the valley below Sacromonte is a stream. For the gypsies, it's a meeting place, a bathtub, a swimming pool, and a laundromat. While the women wash, the men weave baskets. It had been a hot, dry walk down the mountain, and the stream looked cool and wet. I made only one mistake, and it was wet, all right. Very, very wet. Late in the afternoon, the flamenco singers and dancers come down the mountain to perform for the tourists. Juanito asked if I liked dancing. He said that the best dancing was done up on top of the mountain. The Gypsies of Sacromonte are famous for their flamenco music and dancing. No one is certain where this music and dancing began, but like the Gypsies themselves, flamenco found its home in the caves of Sacromonte. There are 14 caves like this one, and the tourists pay to see the Gypsies sing and dance from 6 in the evening until 2 in the morning. The Gypsies become professional dancers at an early age. This girl is only 15 years old. While their parents worked in the caves, the children played on the mountain. As I stood on top of Sacromonte, with the Alhambra behind me and Granada below me, I wondered what would happen to Juanito. Would he become a famous flamenco dancer? Or a coppersmith like his father? Or a weaver of baskets? And what about all the other children in the small world? Yes, it's a small world. And there are children everywhere. And each child lives in a world of his own. Next week, we'll visit the Eskimo children in the land of the midnight sun. They live in igloos made of snow and ice. And they have one long night of darkness that lasts for 7 months when they never see the sun. In the summertime, they hunt for food. And in the wintertime, they store it away in winter's icebox. They also have sleds pulled by dogs and walruses and polar bears who try to steal their food and seals who provide them with food and light and heat and clothing. I think you'll like the Eskimo children just as much as I do, so don't forget to join me next week.
Join me next week. Join me next week. Join me next week.
Join us next week. Well, good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good